I'm Shade Tree Pastor, and welcome to another 5 Minutes in the Bible. Today we're going to be taking a look at one of my favorite moments from the story of Jesus, and it's coming to us from John chapter 18. We're going to be in verse 36. The context is that Jesus is standing before Pilate, and Pilate is questioning him about the idea of kingship and his kingdom and his followers and all of that. And this is what we are told. Jesus answered, "My kingdom is not from this world. If my kingdom were from this world, my followers would be fighting to keep me from being handed over to the Jews. But as it is, my kingdom is not from here." I think that's a very timely message for us today. There's a lot of people out there that want to tie the Christian church to some earthly nation. In fact, a lot of people spend a lot of time looking at the prophecies of the Bible and trying to figure out what modern day nation those prophecies apply to. But when they're doing that, they're missing out on the real point of what changed when Jesus came. Most of the things that Bible teachers point to in order to tie things to nations and the idea of nationality is stuff from the Old Testament. But the problem is, in the Old Testament, the kingdom of God was tied to an earthly nation. That was the nation of Israel, God's chosen people in the Old Testament. And so, how do nations deal with the world around them? Well, they deal with it on a national level. And so there are a lot of things in the Old Testament where God talks about the nations and talks about his kingdom, which is also at that time a nation. But then Jesus comes along, and Jesus ends up saying, "My kingdom is not of this earth." Jesus' kingdom, the kingdom of God that we now call the church, is not tied to any one nation. Instead, now we are a kingdom of priests and believers that exists among all nations. So now we view things as a church, we view things as the people of God, believers in Jesus Christ that exist everywhere. The kingdom of God is not tied to any modern day nation any longer. But honestly, that should be a comfort for us, because our hope is not found in nations. Our hope is found in Jesus Christ.